pag-usapan natin ang inbox management, which is one of the skills ng isang virtual assistant. Ang inbox kasi ang first page na makikita nyo kapag nag-login ka dun sa isang email. So, yung service na ino-offer mo is that you're supposed to help yung mga clients i-manage yung mga emails nila kahit na gano'ng kadami yan. So, during your first week, masistress ka kasi syempre ang dami mga emails na kailangan mong i-manage, but don't worry, you can use a technique to turn everything into inbox at zero. So, the things you need to consider is that first, kailangan nyo maintindihan kung ano yung mga unimportant emails, what are the actionable emails, and lastly, kung ano yung mga kailangang i-delegate or ibigay sa ibang tao. So, there are two key concepts that you need to consider. The first one is going to be, paano mo lilinisin yung email nila or how do you clean up? Next is, paano mo naman i-organize yung mga remaining emails para hindi na stressful dun sa boss mo, di ba? So, your goal is to first figure out when you clean up kung ano yung mga emails that are not important. Take note, you have to talk to your CEO kasi syempre, kailangan natin malaman kung ano yung hindi important sa kanila. Kasi mamaya, akala natin hindi yun important para sa atin, pero yun pala sa kanila, important pala yung email na yun, di ba? So, your goal is to ask them, what do they not want to see when they first log in dun sa email nila at nakita nila yung inbox nila. So, next, you're going to figure out with the remaining emails kung ano yung mga kailangan mong gagawin doon. So, with the remaining emails, mapapansin mo, some of them could be actionable or figuring out what are the emails that are urgent, not urgent, important, or kung ano yung mga missing information na pwede mong tulungan yung company mo. Next, kailangan mo i-figure out kung ano yung kailangang i-delegate or ibigay na tasks or emails to other people. Basically, kasi kailangan mo malaman kung ano yung mga action items na kailangang ibang tao ang gagawa para makomplete yung email na yon. So, pag nagawa mo tong dalawa, what happens is that your client can easily view pagka-login nila, what are the actionable emails, meaning ano yung pwede nilang gawin now versus later, ano yung mga informative emails, meaning mga good to know, and lastly, anything else na parang hindi niya kailangan malaman right now, nagsiskip na yon ng inbox nila. So, how are we going to clean up the email? So, the first thing as we discussed kanina is to figure out kung ano yung mga unimportant emails. So, take note ha, kailangan mo itanong sa kanila kung ano yung unimportant kasi iba ang definition natin ng hindi importante. Malay mo, para sa iyo hindi naman importante yung Starbucks, pero sa kanya gusto niya malaman, 'di ba, kung may bagong deals ng Starbucks. So, what you have to figure out is what does your client not want to see at all kapag nagla-login siya. So, for those things, three things you can do, which is to unsubscribe, archive, and delete, which we'll talk about later. So, here are the steps na gagawin mo to clean up. So, first, let's talk about unsubscribing. So, you unsubscribe emails if there are email subscriptions. So, ito yung mga sample emails na nare-receive mo, di ba? So, you ask him which ones he wants to keep versus those that he wants to unsubscribe for. Now, take note, you can manually unsubscribe the emails kasi when you open the email, merong unsubscribe button doon. Or pwede kang gumamit ng app, especially if napakadaming emails na nandun sa client inbox niya. So you can do it for free with an app called Enroll Me. Pero take note ha, there is security information there. So bigay mo muna sa boss mo yon before you use Enroll Me. On the other hand, if very serious siya about security, then they can go for a paid subscription under SaneBox for 1 month para lang ma-organize lahat ng emails mo. Then after that, you're going to unsubscribe after 1 month. So, yan ang pag-unsubscribe. Next is, syempre, kailangan mo mag-archive ng email. So, archive simply means na merong email doon sa inbox mo, tapos ipapatago mo siya, meaning hindi mo na siya gustong makita doon sa main inbox mo. So, this is called skipping the inbox. So, let's use this email as an example. So, let's just say I want to be able to search for a specific type of email. Halimbawa, lagi ko nakikita, uy, may mga Trello dito. So, ano ba yon? So, I could actually use the search bar ng Gmail para hanapin lahat. So, here you can see, uy, lahat yan lumalabas na. Now, on the other hand, I also have another keyword na laging ginagamit. So, that's Asana. So, yan, kita ko pala lahat. Uy, ang daming emails na unread. So, ang goal mo, diba, is kailangan mong paabutin to 0, meaning yung inbox ko dapat mag-0 yan as much as possible. So, ang gagawin ko dito is yan, nahanap ko na lahat ng Asana, and then gusto ko lahat ito, ma-organize siya sa isang folder na labas sa inbox ko. So, the one thing I'm going to use is what's called the labels, which is kind of like the folders pero sa Gmail. So, one of the first labels you can do is what's called app. Kasi lahat naman ng companies meron silang mga apps. So, what I do here is I can put here apps. And then, since Asana is one of the different apps that we are using, yan. So, ayan, lalagay ko siya here under app. Ngayon, what if may nakikita kang mga words dito tapos hindi mo naiintindihan? Anong gagawin mo? Guys, simple lang yung solusyon natin dito. May Google ko. Yan. So, ay, wait lang. Pwede mong i-Google kung Nag-auto-click kasi siya. Yan. Pwede mong i-google kung anong ibig sabihin nun, diba? So, ayan, in just a few seconds, naintindihan ko na kung ano yung keyword na lagi kong nakikita dito sa inbox. So, kita natin to, it's an app, so we can actually see na, okay, let's put all of these emails under the Asana folder. So, how are we going to do it really fast? So, all I need to do is to select all. Yan. So, make sure ha, yung search and then select all. Next, we want to label as Asana. Yan. So, kita mo, may 2 labels na siya. Nasa Asana folder siya, but it still has the inbox tag. Meaning, ayaw natin siya nandito sa inbox. Gusto natin lahat siya nandito sa Asana. So, paano kaya natin gagawin yun dito, diba? So, all you need to do is to click on the archive button. And tada! Ayan, wala na siya dun sa inbox. And if you notice here, kanina 270 siya, ngayon 238 na lang siya. Diba? Awesome. And then over here, you will notice na nakasulat sa kanya 4,600 emails. Siyempre, ayaw nating ma-stress doon, diba? Hindi man natin babasahin ng lahat. So, you have the option to mark as read. Taran! Ayan. So, ubus na. Wala na tayong notifications. So, before you mark it as read, make sure that you review muna yung emails kung talaga bang ima-mark nyo as unread, ay mark as read. Kasi baka mamaya merong gustong basahin yung boss mo, diba? So, if for example, sure ka na lahat yan hindi babasahin, then you can go ahead and archive and mark as read. Okay? Now, syempre, what if naman, merong isang instance na for this specific email, gusto mo na it would automatically put all the emails on this folder. So, halimbawa, if we get an Asana email, ayaw na ng boss mo makita yun dun sa inbox niya. Gusto niya lagi nandito yan sa Asana, and anytime he can click on this Asana folder, and then makikita niya lahat ng mga Asana-related emails. So, ito yung gagawin mo. I-click nyo lang yung icon na to, and then, it has the words Asana. Yan. So, now we're going to create a filter. O, diba? So, now that we created the filter, we want to set rules so that every time a new email comes in, it would follow that specific type of rule. So, ito, sabi naman ng boss natin, pwede na natin siyang i-auto-archive, meaning ayaw niya makita sa inbox. We also want to make sure na it's marked as read kasi hindi naman pala sa kanya important na makita yon. And then, we want to apply a label which is Asana. O, diba? So, and we want to make sure na if it sees any matching conversations na hindi pa siya na-tag, then we want to make sure na yung filter na to would apply to any matching conversations as well. O, diba? So, kita nyo, automatic ginagawa nyo na lahat. Now, on the other hand, what if gusto mong automatic i-delete siya, diba? So, in this case, tanggal mo na lahat and then click on delete. O, diba? So, in this case, gusto natin na automatic kapag merong Asana, tanggal na natin yan. Yan. So, ayan lang, ganyan lang kasi. But then, create filter. And now, you're sure that every time there's going to be an Asana email, automatic i-apply na niya lahat ng mga filters and ilalagay na niya dito sa folder na to. So, let's try another example. So, let's say, email naman. So, every time you receive an email, gusto mo na nakatago na siya, basically. So, ang isang example would be, let's just say, itong no reply at trello.com. Yan. So, ang no reply usually means it's a notification. And ang goal natin is, gusto natin na hindi na natin makikita to dun sa inbox. So, as we mentioned a while ago, make sure na i-click niyo yung all. And then after that, ay, wala pala tayong folder ng Trello. So, all you need to do is, you can click on the plus button here. You can type Trello. And then, pwede mong ilagay under app. And tada! Meron na tayong Trello na folder. So, now that we have that, we can go label as, and then we can say Trello. Ayan. Ayan natin. Ayan. So, kita nyo yung Trello. Automatic na dyan. And we can take out the updates folder already para mas organize siya if ever ayaw. So, pwede mo automatic and then make sure na click ka ng apply. As we see a while ago, nasa inbox pa siya. So, we want to take it out of the inbox. So, now we put it as archive. Now, of course, we want to make sure na every time may email from this account, hindi na siya dapat lumalabas sa inbox. So, same thing, you're going to be putting a rule here. Now, take note, ito yung has the words. Tanggal na natin to dito. Lagay natin siya sa from. Yan. Tapos, we create a filter. And in this case, gusto natin ulit mag-skip ng inbox, mark as read. And we want to make sure na nakalagay na siya this time dun sa Trello folder. And if may matching conversations, we want to make sure na na-apply na siya. O, diba? Sakto. Ayan. So, everything is good to go. Wala na siya sa inbox. Hindi na tayo na more problema doon, diba? Ganun lang siya kadali. From estimates, pag naging familiar ka na dito, usually it would take you siguro mga 1 to 3 days to be able to complete it. It's okay if you take maybe a week to be able to clear out the emails. That's fine. But in estimation, siguro mga 1 week ka talaga nagtatapos nito. Kasi, yun nga, ang dami mong emails na kailangang isort and maraming back and forth across different people or across different departments. Kung halimbawa talagang ang daming mga nangyayari doon sa email na yon. Pero normally, if konti lang naman yung ganap doon sa email, isang araw tapos na siya, 'di ba? So yan, nalinasan natin yung email. Ang next step naman natin is to organize the emails. So one of the things that you can do is make an email review every day. So syempre, kailangan natin i-clean up, kailangan natin i-figure out what things they need to respond now versus respond later, and what are the things that should be delegated or escalated to the different people. So, syempre, yung clean up, pinag-usapan na natin siya dun sa first section, and now we need to be able to figure out ano yung mga emails na kailangan natin i-respond now versus later. And syempre, nakaka-stress to, diba? Kasi mamaya, pagbukas mo ng email na yun, hala, ano ba yung mga language na to? Bakit may sinasabi silang logistics? Sino ba si James? Sino ba si Karen? Ay, bakit naman may sinasabi silang contract and folder? Like, wala na kung alam ko anong nangyayari dito. So, syempre, mas-stress ka the first time you're going to see all of these different emails, but don't worry, as long as you can categorize or organize the information in your brain, kahit na gano'ng ka-complicated yan, mag-group mo yung emails na yun into different segments. So, paano mo siya gagawin? First, ang kailangan mong i-figure out is that ano yung mga emails na kailangan ma-respond immediately. So, basically, urgent or things that have to be responded to within the day. So, syempre, kung madali siyang isagot or urgent siyang isagot, then it is considered as a micro-task na kaya nang i-respond yung email na yun within 2 to 15 minutes. On the other hand, if, for example, it takes 30 to 60 minutes, then it would be considered as a quick task. Syempre, habang nagsisimula ka, everything would feel like it would take really long time to respond. But as you get to understand your company better, as you get to understand your CEO or executive better, paiksi ng paiksi yung oras na yon. And that's usually what makes you as a great virtual assistant. Ngayon, merong part na kailangan mo ring matutunan kung ano yung mga things na would usually take a long time to respond. Meaning, kaya ba siyang i-respond within a day, a week, or a month? And for all of these things, kailangan ka mag-set ng reminders. Now, take note, from my experience, this is actually a good way for you to really showcase your skills to your CEO, or parang kung kailan ka dapat magpapabibo, diba? So, normally, may mga things or tasks na makikita ka that if you were not there, matatagalan yung CEO mo para mag-respond dun sa email na yon. Which means that if you organize everything or mas magaling, mas mabilis ka mag-respond, mas i-organize mo yung back-end mo para lahat ng kailangan, instead na week or month siya makukompleto, kaya mo na in just a shorter period of time. O, diba? Magiging plus points yan sa boss mo. So, now that you figured out kung ano yung mga kailangan gawin dun sa email mo, syempre, ang pinaka-important is that what if there are times that you need to collaborate or kailangan mo makipag-usap sa ibang tao through delegating a task, a project, or escalating a scenario. So, syempre, when you open an email, there are instances where there are actionable things that you need to do in there. So, baka yung gagawin na yun, kailangan gawin ng CEO or executive mo. Pwedeng ikaw, pwede yung team, or pwedeng third party. So, third party meaning baka mayroon kayong kinakausap na agency, suppliers, etc. So, maraming minsan pagbukas mo ng email, merong mga tasks na kailangan gagawin doon. So, yung goal mo is to figure out sino ba dapat yung gagawin yun. Yung CEO, yung boss mo, ikaw, yung team, or third party. By breaking it down into all of these different segments, kahit na gano'n ka-complicated yung email na yan, kaya mong intindihin kung anong nangyayari. So, one way that you can also try to figure out yung contents ng email is to figure out from that email content, ano yung mga urgent na emails. Meaning, ito na yung dapat gawin mo ngayon. So, boss, we need to work on this. We need to be able to send the contract within the next few hours so that they will be able to process the payment. Or we can say that, hey, so apparently we have an issue with this app and we need to make sure that we have the IT team look into this one because our website is down. So it's really urgent you need to notify people when there's an urgent thing happening sa email na yon kasi hindi naman nila malalaman, di ba? Hindi, yung ibang departments, hindi naman sila nag-open ng email. Ikaw yon. So it is your responsibility to help the entire team to figure out kung meron mga urgent things na kailangan gawin from that specific email. Next, the advanced stuff are things na nagre-require ng approval or coordination with different people in the departments. So let's just say, meron kang isang email na receive. And before you can even complete the email, you need to get the approval ng CEO mo kasi apparently, it's a campaign. And before the campaign can be completed, ikaw lang yung may alam na kailangan ng approval ng CEO mo or maybe yung manager ng ibang department. Or baka naman merong isang file na kailangan and kulang yung information dun sa file and you need to coordinate with another department or person para ma-complete yung information dun sa file na yon. Now, take note na right now, all of these things might be considered as advanced for you, but as you gain more skills, trust me, itong mga things na sinasabi ko sa inyo, sobrang as simple as breathing lang yan, diba? So, take note, it's going to be advanced for now. Mas-stress ka sa simula, but trust me, it's going to be very, very, very simple to you in the future, okay? Next one is, syempre, meron ka makikitang emails na merong task doon na complex siya, diba? Kasi pagkatingin mo dun sa email, look, ano to? Hindi ko naintindihan yun kasi marami pang steps na kailangan gawin. Or maybe sometimes may mga terminology na yun na hindi mo naiintindihan or wala pang process na build kasi para i-support yung task na yun. So an example would be sometimes a CEO or manager would say, hey, we want to be, nag-a-announce sila sa email na to be able to implement a specific project or a specific task. So syempre, hindi naman ng mga tao, hindi naman lahat ng tao alam kung anong gagawin, diba? Kasi nasa idea phase sila. So one of the things na mangyayari is that syempre, kailangan mo ma-figure out kung ano yung mga steps na kailangan gawin. Or for example, like, oy, wait lang po, kailangan ko muna mag-research kasi hindi ko siya masasagot agad. So, long story short, these are complex tasks because it's going to take a long time to complete, diba? Hindi siya agad-agad. So, here's a sample template that you can use to be able to notify people kung ano yung nangyayari. So, here's a sample inbox report that you could use. So, first is, syempre, sinabi natin na merong inbox report. And then next, ni-notify ko kung ano yung mga urgent emails dun sa boss ko. So, as here, you notice that I placed a title and put it in bold and then made a quick summary of what happened in that email. So, pwede ka rin magdagdag dito yung subject ng email para hindi mahirapan yung boss mo hanapin yung email na yon. But, hindi ko dinagdag yun dito kasi syempre mahirapan na tayo, diba? But, usually you could place the subject title here para alam ng boss mo kung saan siya hahanapin. Next, you will also need to notify him or her kung ano yung mga things na kailangan nilang i-respond. So, ang laking tulong na to sa boss mo kung halimbawa sinabi mo na, hey, so I noticed that Erica needs to have an interview. Can you just tell me what is a good interview date? Kasi naman baka mamaya kung masagot na niya dito, you can respond to on behalf of your CEO dun sa email na yon. Next one is, syempre, magpapabibo na tayo, diba? So, if there are any tasks on that email na kaya mo nang gawin or anything na pwede ka na makipag-coordinate bago mo i-notify yung CEO mo, gawin mo na. Kasi that shows to your CEO that you are proactive and gusto mo makipag-grow sa company. And from my experience, I don't know how many times na nag-double yung salary ko just because I am very proactive with the company. So, syempre, sa dulo, sinulat ko dito na, hey, your inbox has been updated as well. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to look into. So, syempre, you can choose how your ending statement should be. Ito lang yung favorite ko. But of course, as I said, you can choose whatever you want. So yan, let's do a quick recap. Our main goal sa email is that you should reach inbox 0 where you have to find out kung ano yung mga unimportant emails, actionable emails, and emails that can be delegated. So sa unimportant emails, you have to unsubscribe, skip inbox, or delete the emails where sa pag-delete, syempre magtanong kayo kasi mamaya delete kayo ng delete na matas bawal naman pala. Next, you need to figure out what are the actionable skills kasi kailangan yung mag-manage ng emails every day. So you need to be able to learn to identify 3 important things, which is kung ano yung mga emails na pwede na mag-respond right away, what are the things that can be responded to within 2 to 15 minutes or maybe 30 to 60 minutes or maybe it would take a longer period of time. Now, of course, there are instances na kailangan ka na mag-delegate. And during the delegation, you need to notify people kung ano yung mga urgent, meaning kailangan na i-respond right now, which ones require coordinations and approval, and lastly, kung ano yung mga complex tasks, diba? Kasi marami namang kailangan gawin doon. So, syempre, I'm very curious about what other topics you want me to talk about in relation to being able to work at home na non-voice siya, diba? So, write it on the comments below para I'll know how I can be able to support all of you. Once again, this is Nori. See you in the next video!